David tonight. How we doing tonight, David?
I'm good. Hope everyone is doing well.
That's good. I'm a little cold in this room, so I'm going to actually grab some gloves. It is actually cold. I left my window open thinking that it won't get that cold. Because I love it cold. I really do love it cold. But, whoo boy, I bit off more than I could chew tonight. I bit off more than I could chew. But, David, you know what we're here to do tonight, right?
Yes, I do.
All right. So, what we'll do is I think we'll do our way too early predictions. I'll go through mine, then you'll go through yours for division-wise. So I'll predict the entire AFC East. Then I'll have you share your screen, and you'll stream yours to predict your AFC East. Okay?
Okay, hold on. Just give me a moment. I'm going to try and see if I can get this to full screen so that they're not staring at my entire...
Yeah, well, I also got to do a couple things on Discord, so don't fret it. Don't fret it. Let me just... Where are you, Streamlabs? I want to find you.
Give me a moment.
Add a source. We'll go ahead and add a... Actually, we'll add a display capture. Add source. Display capture.
Ah. Apparently it's F11.
Let me just set you over here for the time being. Because I need to change... Nope, not that one. Changing one more setting here.
I'm trying to get this thing full screen and it
What
doesn't
are you
get
doing?
full screen.
Okay, so that's not working. Probably should have done this beforehand, but we're here. We are here still anyway. You know what? We'll just do it this way. I'll go... Oh, screen capture. Add source. And then I can capture the entirety of screen 2.
Hold on, wait. I have an idea. Give me a moment. I need to drag all the windows I'm not using into a separate thing, because if not, they're going to see all the other stuff.
What? You don't want people to know that you're looking up hot singles in your area?
No, I don't want to know. I don't want people to know that we have more than one spreadsheet. So I'm moving all of them over to.
What do you mean that we people are going to know we have more than one spreadsheet, man?
Yes, but I don't want them on the browser. I'd rather just have what I need open.
Fair enough. But we're ready to go here. Let me actually go ahead and see how many people we got up in here. If we got anyone just yet. It looks like we've got one person up in here, so let's go ahead and get this show on the road. While David is working through his issues, I'm going to go ahead and start predicting the AFC East for 2025. So, we're going to start off with the Buffalo Bills. And in terms of divisional games, I think the Bills sweep the Jets and Patriots. Actually, let's see. We got Trudeau, excuse me, but where's your tie and dress shirt? Hey, man, it goes away when we're not in Super Bowl mode. It only comes out once a year for the Super Bowl. So... now you get the hoodie again. Now you get the Pens hoodie and hat. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and start off with the Bills here. I think that the Bills are going to sweep at home against the division. And I think they lose to... I think they're going to lose to New England on the road. I think they'll sweep up Miami. I think they'll sweep up the Jets. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a 5-1 division record. I think they'll lose to the Patriots on the road because the Patriots look pretty solid down the stretch. You had Joe Milton, you had Drake May. They get a couple weapons to work with him. You got a really solid shot at being able to put up some serious points. We're gonna have a little fun with these. Huge disclaimer for the series: we're gonna have a lot of fun with these picks because, well, it's way too early predictions. Will the Steelers lose any games this year with their new starting quarterback, Aaron Rodgers? Oh my god. Don't even remind me. And then I saw a report this morning the Steelers are trying to trade for freaking Trevor Lawrence. Oh god, no. And then Pete just said there's rumblings in Arizona that the Steelers are going to try and get Kyler Murray. What are we doing? Still are going to the toilet bowl! Oh my gosh. So let's go ahead here. Meanwhile, I'm going to flip these up here. The Patriots get a win there against the Bills, but everyone else who plays the Bills in the division automatically loses their games. Because you can't have the Dolphins win at home against the Bills when the Bills win in Miami. That's not how it works. So then let's go now to the Bills home games. This is a gauntlet. Let's be real here. You got 3 games right here that the Bills could very easily drop at home. Do I think they lose them all? Absolutely not. I think that the Bills will take care of business against Cincinnati, New Orleans, and Tampa Bay. I think that they'll fairly easily sweep up against those teams. So let me go ahead and actually put in some of these now. I know I can put in the rest of the AFC. The not the Ravens. I'm not calling the Ravens losing that one, but the Bengals are losing that one. So let's take a look here. Look, Steelers need to get Tomlin fired, and Rodgers has proven track record of getting him just fired. So do it. The problem is, the Steelers will get rid of Aaron Rodgers instead of firing the coach. The Steelers don't fire coaches. Mike Tomlin has that job until he freaking keels over on his deathbed if he wants to. He'll be calling plays in hospice care in 60 years if he wants to. He has that job as long as he wants it. It's ridiculous, but it's the Steeler way. So now, let's take a look now at the Bills. I think that the Bills will beat Kansas City in the regular season. They tend to play them well in the regular season. I think that one is going to be the best shot for them to win. But I do think that they'll drop these two to Baltimore and Philly. The Bills are a good team, but I think that the Ravens can edge them out in Buffalo. It's really going to depend. If the Bills get Baltimore at home in December, and there's going to be 2 feet of snow, the Bills could very easily win that game. The Bills are so much more used to playing in snow than the Ravens. But I'm going to give the edge to the Bills, or to the Ravens on those ones. So let's go ahead and give the Ravens their win against Buffalo. Moving on now to the away games for the Bills. Atlanta, I'm not going to mark Atlanta yet. Carolina, I think, even though Carolina's going to take a step forward, Carolina's a shoo-in. I think Cleveland's a shoo-in. Those games, straightforward, I don't see Buffalo dropping those games. The other 3, we'll have to talk about them. But let me go ahead and adjust this here. Browns losing there. Atlanta, yeah, Michael Penix looked good down the stretch, but let's be real here. It's going to be the Bills' game to lose. Pittsburgh and Houston, I think that between these two, the Bills lose one. I think the Bills are just going to have a what-the-hell game at some point, and it's going to be against one of these two teams. And I'm going to put it as the Steelers because the Steelers tend to play very well against teams they have no right playing well against. And then I think the Bills will beat the Texans. So let's go ahead and give those wins out, or those losses out accordingly. So there we go. I got the Bills here at, 13-4 as their overall record. And in the conference, they drop what? They get 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, yeah, obviously 5-1, 5-2, 6-2, 7-2, 8-2, 8-3, 9-3. Yes, they played 12 conference games. All right. Now let's move on to the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a bit of a head case. I think that they'll beat the Jets and Patriots at home, but I think that they'll lose to the Patriots on the road. I think they sweep the Jets. I think the Jets are going to be in a massive rebuild year. There's no one really good on the market for quarterbacks, and the Jets desperately need a quarterback. So I think that they're going to be able to sweep the Jets. I think the Jets are going to do horrible this season. I really think they're going to fall off a cliff. But I got the Dolphins going 3-3 in the division. So meanwhile, let's go ahead and give the Miami games. The Jets get swept. And the Patriots, let's see. Truno is saying, Sam Darnold is available. Do it, Jets. Sam Darnold would get ruined again at the Jets. Patriots at home beat Miami. So that was the loss. And that is the win. I'm high on New England this year. I think New England's going to have a bounce back year. I think if they they need to make a few right moves, but they can be a really dangerous team. Meanwhile, going back to Miami here, let's go ahead and do their shoe-in games. I don't know if there's too many of them. I really don't know if there's too many of them here. I'm not seeing any games that are a shoe-in win, but Baltimore's a shoe-in loss, and any of these games could go either way. So I'm going to go ahead and give that loss straight away to Miami. The Ravens will beat Miami with ease. Now, Cincinnati, I think the Dolphins will drop. I think Cincinnati is going to be able to still have some semblance of a core. So I think that the Bengals will end up winning that game against the Dolphins. So let's go ahead and mark that as a win for the Bengals. New Orleans, I think they'll be able to beat New Orleans. New Orleans is a very touchy team. But I think they'll be able to beat the Saints. Tampa, I think they'll lose to the Buccaneers. Again, Tampa really has their moments. I think that Tampa can make a lot of noise. And the Dolphins are kind of a mid-team right now. They're really not that great. And they're putting everything in on Tua being out is a problem. That team has more problems of playing coherent football than they do just Tua. My opinion, but that's what I think. That's what I personally believe. Moving on to the Charger game and the Commanders game, I think these are both going to be losses for Miami. I really think these are going to be tough games for them to win. I don't see the Dolphins having a good season because I don't think they have a lot of good opponents this year. They have a lot of opponents that are really going to do a lot to beat them up. And it's tough to see because, we want Miami to do well because Mike McDaniel is a likable guy and a likable coach, but I don't see it happening at home. If we go on the road, again, I don't see any shoo-ins. I'll give them in the game against the Colts because the Colts are trying to find their identity still. The Colts are really in a rough spot. I really think they're going to have a very tough season. Carolina, I think Carolina is going to win this game. Carolina is going to be a sneaky team this season. I really liked how they looked down the stretch, especially with Bryce Young after his benching. Atlanta, I'm going to give Atlanta the win there. And I think that Miami will beat the Browns and the Steelers. I think the Steelers are a very touchy team. They'll drop games that are like, what the hell are you doing? I look to, what was it, the Cowboys game? The Steelers should have whooped the Cowboys in the last decade. And they lost in a horrendous fashion. So that's my picks for the Dolphins here. What is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 losses. That's a Dolphin schedule if I've ever seen one. How many wins do they get in the conference? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they go 6-6 in the conference. Now, for the Jets, I think they split with New England. I think the Jets will have some sort of game. New England's still trying to find themselves out. So these are going to be your wins here. I think both teams win at home. I think it's a home and home. One team wins at home, the other team wins in their home. Okay, so division-wise, we can go ahead and do the division for both of these. The Jets go 1-5, the Patriots go 3-3. Now, for the other games, for the Jets, shoe-in loss. I'm going to give them Steelers, I'm going to give them Broncos, and I'm going to give them Dallas as shoe-in losses. Oh, not green, that's red. So Pittsburgh and Denver both beat the Jets. I just don't see the Jets as having a lot of talent. They have talent, but they don't have a quarterback. They have some talent at wide receiver. They have a decent defense. But I really see them as having a massive flaw in not having a quarterback. Look what happened when Aaron Rodgers went down for the season. You didn't have good quarterback play. Look when Aaron Rodgers came back. You didn't have good quarterback play. They sucked. They struggled. They bubbled everything. The Jets, meanwhile, I think that they will lose to Atlanta. I think they'll drop it to Cleveland as well. I really think they're going to have a bad season. And then I'll give them a win over Carolina, because Carolina is still trying to figure themselves out a little bit. And the Browns are going to have a bad season, but I really think that they're going to get some wins that we wouldn't expect. Moving on to the road games here, I kind of want to pick up the pace a little bit. We want this to be kind of a quick thing. We don't want to be live for 5 hours. I don't think you want to be live for 5 hours. Do you, David?
No, not particularly.
Yeah, shoe-in losses for the Jets, or shoe-in losses, I'm going to give them Baltimore as a shoe-in loss. I think they drop to Tampa Bay. I think they drop to Cincy. And I think they're going to drop one of these two. I think it'll be New Orleans. Meanwhile, they beat the Jags. So the Jets go a lowly 3-11, or 3-14. Their total wins, they got 2 wins in the conference, so they go 2-10. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and flip these routes. So Baltimore, Cincinnati both get wins over the Jets. Boom and boom. And Jacksonville gets a loss to the Jets. Now, moving on to the Patriots. Let's go ahead and see what they got. I think Carolina they beat, Cleveland they beat, the Giants they beat, the Raiders they beat. They got a really beatable schedule. They really have a soft schedule. They can really take advantage of it. And I think they'll drop to Atlanta and Pittsburgh, but I really feel like this team is on the up and up. So Cleveland and Vegas both get losses. Let me go ahead and fill those in. That is Cleveland and Vegas both get losses to New England. Meanwhile, the Steelers get a win against New England. Again, finally getting a win against them. And who am I missing here? Miami. I forgot the Miami Steelers game. Steelers lost to Miami. What about the Browns? The Browns lost to Miami. And I think I have everything else. I do have everything else in the AFC. New England, Tennessee against New England. I have not scheduled that one yet. So let's go ahead and move on to the road games. And then we'll have David take over his picks and we'll share his screen. The Patriots, I think they're going to lose to the Ravens. And I think they'll drop 2 more games. I think they'll drop Cincinnati and Tampa Bay and New Orleans. But I still think they have a solid season. I think they're going to be floating around 500. And this team could very easily make a push. I think they very easily can make a push. I really like what they've done. So I am looking forward to what the Patriots can do. Hopefully they can actually get their gear back and check and get going again. And right now, that is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have them as an 8-9 team on the up and up. And how many wins do they have in the conference? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so they literally are Miami again. They literally have the same record as Miami. So there we go. Now let me go ahead and switch on over to David. What have you got for us, David? Let me go ahead and full screen you.
Let me share my screen.
What? That's not what I want to do. Let me full screen. And David, are you able to share that screen?
Yep, you should be able to see it right now.
All right, now let me go ahead and open up Streamlabs, and we will get you going. Go ahead and turn on that. All right, go ahead, David. Have at it.
Right, so we're starting off with the Bills. Sorry, but they're going to beat Miami. I'm probably just going to go team by team, or should I just go across?
Just go team by team.
All right. New England, that's a W. That's a no-brainer. Jets, W. I'm going to skip the Bills. I'm going to go back to that one.
Or the Ravens.
Sorry, yeah, the Ravens. I'm kind of tired. Cincinnati. W. I can't see them not beating them. I think the first loss will be against Philly. I'm going to be honest. I don't see the Chiefs beating them this upcoming season.
They did get exposed.
Baltimore will be a close game, but I feel like they'll end up losing that one.
Hey, you can't just copy my predictions.
I'm not. It's generally what I think. New Orleans, yes. Tampa Bay. I'm gonna say yes. Sorry, but I have to. Away games in Miami. Nope. I don't think they'll be able to do it in Miami. New England, yes. Just not even up for debate. The Jets. Let's see. Again, yes.
I'm here, by the way.
Yes, I hear you.
On your sheet, so I'm gonna fill in your division record.
You're good. Atlanta. Let's see. gonna skip that one for now. Pittsburgh. I feel like they're gonna lose to Pittsburgh.
You're copying.
I'm trying not to. Cleveland is gonna be a yes. And you know what? I'm gonna go crazy. I think they'll lose to the Texans. I think the Texans will look better this year. Um, Carolina is gonna be an easy dub, and I think they'll beat Atlanta as well. So I think they'll lose to Baltimore, Philly, Miami, Pittsburgh,
Gotcha.
and Houston.
All right, let's move on to
And
the
then
Dolphins.
the Dolphins.
Oh, remember you have to mark. Remember you have to mark the games too. So I'll go ahead and start marking your game. I'll mark the games for your other teams that you marked.
Okay.
Everyone loses on the road to Buffalo. So I'll start filling these in for you as you make your predictions.
Yep. So.
That's a
Again.
green.
Yep. New England. Let's see. In New England, they're gonna lose that one. They're not winning that one. Sorry.
Well, no, that's in Miami.
Oh, that's
Home
in
games
Miami?
are on top. Home games are on top.
Then yes. The Jets. I'm gonna have to go yes because they're gonna be in a complete rebuild, like you said. The Ravens in Miami. I'm gonna have to say no. Even if it's in Miami, I don't think they're gonna win. Cincinnati is a no for me. New Orleans is a yes because I still think the Saints have a bit of work to do. The Chargers in Washington, I'm going to skip the Bucks only because I'm going to go back to that one last. The Commanders is a no for me. I can't see them beating the Commanders. The Chargers is a no for me as well. And the Bucks are a no for me as well. I can't see them beating those three teams. Not with their current setup.
Ouch!
I can't. I can't.
Well, go ahead and make your rest of
away-
your road games.
Away New England, no, because they can't stand the cold. Same with the Jets. I can see them beating the Falcons. That I can see. Carolina, yes, because Carolina still needs a lot of work to do. The Browns in the cold in Cleveland. That is a no for me. Pittsburgh is a no for me. And the Colts are a yes.
All right. Let's go ahead now and move on over to the Jets.
New England. Have they been good or have they been kind of bad?
I mean, New England had a little bit of an upstart coming this season, so
Okay. So
no, I think
in
they're
that
fair.
case, with the current status of the Jets, they're desperate need of a quarterback. I'm saying no to New England. I don't see them winning against New England. Carolina, yes. If they lose against Carolina, there's something wrong with them. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. The easy one's Pittsburgh. They're not beating Pittsburgh. I have a feeling they're gonna lose to Denver. Cleveland and Dallas. Dallas is a walk for me. Atlanta. You know what? Nope. Cleveland is a possibility, maybe, and they will not beat Dallas even with their current status.
Okay.
New England, again, that's a loss. If I had them losing the first time, I don't see them winning the second time they face them. Baltimore's a no-brainer. They're not beating Baltimore. Cincinnati is a no. I can't see them beating Cincinnati. New Orleans, yes. Tampa Bay, nope. And you know what?
Okay.
I'm gonna say yes to this only because I feel like Trevor Lawrence might not be in Jacksonville much longer.
5-12.
Yep. Let's move on to the Patriots. So let's see. Atlanta. You know what? I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt because I don't think Atlanta can stand the cold. I can't, and I live here. So I'm giving them the W. Carolina, I'm giving them the W. Cleveland, yes. I think they'll take their second loss against Pittsburgh. I don't see them beating Pittsburgh. In the past, they've done well against Vegas, so I'll give them that. And then I don't know what the quarterback situation is with the Giants, but based off of
They
the
don't
fact
have
that
one.
yeah, and also they don't have Saquon or really any big weapons, so I'm giving them the dub there. I think they'll get destroyed by Baltimore. You know what? We're gonna go right to New Orleans. I'll go back to Cincy. It's a win for them in Cincy. I don't see them beating the Bucks. I see them beating the Titans, potentially. In Cincy, that is a tough one. That is a very tough one for me. I'm gonna have to say no, even with how good they have the potential to be. I can't see them beating.
Man, you are even higher than me on
Cincy.
New England. One,
Yeah, that might change.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So let's go ahead now. You know what? How about you lead us away on the North? How about you lead the way on the AFC North? So start with the Ravens now.
So the Ravens, Cincy, yes. Cleveland, yes. Based off of the fact that Pittsburgh is always sneaky good against like the really good teams, I'm saying that they're going to lose to Pittsburgh. They'll destroy the Bears. I'm sorry, they're going to destroy the Bears. They're going to take a loss to Detroit. Houston, they'll also lose to.
Okay.
Shit. The Rams, let's see. Do I want to be nice or do I want to be cruel?
Be realistic, man.
Be realistic.
If I'm being honest, I don't expect the Rams to beat Baltimore.
Yeah.
I don't. It would be a miracle for them to beat Baltimore. Now, if it's a Week 17 game, then it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But then the Rams always come to life in the second half of the season.
Yeah. Cincinnati, the Bengals. I'm saying they're going to win against them again. Cleveland's an easy game. Pittsburgh, how do they typically do in the second half?
Well, it's not the second half of the season. It's not the second half of the season. This is not the order of games.
Ah, okay.
The schedule hasn't been released yet. These are just the opponents.
I don't think they're going to lose to Pittsburgh twice. I think they'll beat Green Bay. They have a shot at beating Minnesota, and then they're going to lose to Kansas City.
All right. Let's see. You have what? 1, 2, 3 losses in the conference, so they went 9-3, and overall that's what? 12-5.
About 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 12
Yeah.
and 5.
All right. Now let's go ahead and move on to the Brownies. This is for David.
Immediate loss to the Bengals. Immediate loss to Pittsburgh. Immediate. They're not gonna beat Green Bay. They're definitely not beating Minnesota. It'll be a miracle if they do. They'll beat Tennessee, but then they'll immediately lose to San Francisco. Let's see, on the back half.
On the away games. These are away games. It's not the back half of the season. These are just away
I
games.
know. Jeez, I can't see them beating Cincinnati or Pittsburgh twice, or even once. They're gonna beat the Bears because that game's always a snooze fest. They'll lose to Detroit, but I think they can beat the Raiders.
All right. 1, 2 wins in the entire conference. 4 wins on the season.
I am not kind with the Browns. I'm sorry, Browns.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the Steelers. Steelers got Super Bowl! I don't have a terrible towel, but Steelers got Super Bowl!
I can see them beating the Bengals. I really can. Their defense has been pretty good.
Okay.
Green Bay, they're beating. Minnesota, damn. Gonna be a good game, but I think they'll have a tough loss there. Indy, if they lose to Indy, there's something wrong with them. With all due respect to the Colts. Seahawks, I believe they can beat the Seahawks. They will take an away loss to the Bengals in Cincinnati. They will beat the Bears. I don't see the Bears winning that situation. Now in Detroit, they take a. Damn, this is complicated. I'm gonna give them. I think they can beat Detroit. I'm gonna be fully honest. I think they could do it, and then I also think they can beat the Chargers. I really think that this upcoming season they have.
You are really high on a team that doesn't even have a quarterback right now. You have the Steelers right now, for perspective, you have the Steelers as the top team in the freaking AFC with Mike freaking Tomlin as the head coach.
Can I change that?
I'm not even that high on the Steelers.
Okay, fine. So I'm gonna give them a loss in Detroit. Actually, like dead serious.
Okay.
Yeah. And,
Let's move on to Cincy.
Okay, Cincy, Bears, easy dub, no questions asked. Bengals, they're gonna lose to them. Jacksonville, they're gonna beat them. Arizona, I'm gonna say they're gonna beat them. If they don't, I can only cry. Minnesota, they're gonna lose.
You skipped Green Bay.
And yes, I know. I just realized they will. I have a sneaky suspicion. Realistically, my gut's telling me they're gonna win in Green Bay. But they'll lose to Denver.
All right, so that gives them what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses. That's a fair season for the Bengals. 10-7. How do they do in the conference? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses. That's a fair situation. So now it's my turn. Let's go ahead and minimize that. And it is my turn to make some predictions. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Ravens. The Ravens in their divisional games, I think that they're going to win 2 of them at home. I think they'll win 2 of them on the road. I think they're going to go 4-2. The AFC North games are always fluky. And I mean always fluky. The Browns get swept by the Ravens. The Bengals lose on the road to Baltimore. The Steelers lose at home to Baltimore. I really feel like AFC North football is just defined as fluky football. That's how it is. That's how it always is. You see some strange things. You see some very odd things. So I have Baltimore going, 4-2 in the division? Your disrespect for the Packers have been noted. That's David. That is all frickin' David. I respect the Packers. I really do have a lot of stock in the Packers. So let's go ahead and move on to the Ravens. I think they beat the Bears. That is all but a given. I think I'm going to skip Detroit. I think they're going to beat Houston and beat Baltimore. Or the Ravens. Or the Rams. The Rams. Whatever the team is. So I really think that's going to happen. But I think they're going to lose to Detroit. I think they're going to go 7-2 at home. They're going to take some home losses. Green Bay is going to be a tight game. With it being in Lambeau, Lambeau is a tough place to play. Green Bay does have some fluky games in them. I'll give them the game over Baltimore. I think Minnesota was a one-hit wonder, so I think that the Baltimore is going to win that one. But I think Kansas City will beat Baltimore again because Kansas City always finds a way. It always seems to happen. Why did I color that one green? I meant to color it red. I colored those two completely wrong. So the Minnesota game is a win. The Kansas City game is a loss. So that puts the Ravens at 12-5. I think that's fair for Baltimore. In terms of AFC, they lost 1, 2, 3 games. They're at 9-3. Now the Browns win at home against the Steelers. That is a given. That is purely a given. And I think they'll go into Cincinnati, pull off some sort of crazy thing that'll go on. Like I said, AFC North football is some of the most drug-induced football you will ever watch. You will see teams that have no shot at winning dominating by field goals. It always seems to happen that way. Pittsburgh loses on the road in Cleveland, and Cincinnati loses at home against Cleveland. So let's go ahead and go bing, bada, boom. Then these two games are wins. Do you hear anyone who wears a blue shirt with a blue tie knows nothing about colors? I guess. Hey, man, in my defense, I chose that Super Bowl apparel, like, I kid you not, 6:20. I said, you know what? I'm going to wear a little bit of a suit tonight. I'm going to go fancy. And now I'm taking flack for it. So I got the Browns at 2-4. I think the Browns will lose to Green Bay. The Packers have a very hot tendency, but I think they'll beat Minnesota in a kind of fluky game. Tennessee, I think they'll lose to Tennessee because, once again, it's Cleveland. It's Cleveland, let's be real. So we'll go ahead and do that. And San Fran, they will lose to San Fran. Not a doubt in my mind, San Fran just had a bad 2024. They're going to come back strong. They're going to be very hot and very solid. Meanwhile, let's go on Chicago. Chicago's going to beat Cleveland on the road. Detroit, wait a minute. I keep messing up my colors! Detroit's going to be a loss, but I am going to give them a win against the Raiders. I think that they're going to finish the season decent enough. I have them going 5-12. In the conference, I have them, winning 1, 2, 3 games? That's fair. So the Steelers always do something fluky. I think they'll sweep the Bengals. That puts them at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins. Yeah, they'll sweep Cincinnati. Because again, it's AFC North football. It's the opposite of what you would expect. So I have the Steelers going 4-2 and the Bengals going 2-4 in the division. Now, Green Bay, I think they're going to lose to Green Bay. Minnesota's not going to be a good team, but I think they lose to Minnesota. I think they're going to lose to these as well. I think the Steelers are they're going to go back to their old ways. They're going to fall back in their old ways. The Steelers always muster to get to 500, and that's it. It was a bonus for the Steelers to get to 10 wins this season. They're going to lose to Chicago. But then, the Mike Tomlin magic happened, and they beat Detroit and the Chargers by somehow, some way. Some sort of miracle. That puts them at 9-8. Mike Tomlin keeps his streak alive. His most pointless streak, mind you. Where did I have where did I have the Raiders game? I had the Raiders losing. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do those. And then that's
I had
one.
a very different concept of that particular schedule, or season for them, rather. Opponents.
3 losses, so I think they go 9-3 in the conference. They take a lot of losses to the NFC. Now the Bengals, I think they drop to Chicago, they drop to Detroit. Because once again, Chicago, I like what the Bears got going. I like, I'm blanking on his name. Ben Johnson. I like Ben Johnson. I think the Bears have a decent sense of direction. So I think that they'll be decent enough this season. Jacksonville, Arizona, I think the Bengals will drop those games. It's, once again, or I think they'll win those games. It's very interesting to see how the AFC North plays out. Green Bay, I think Green Bay will beat Cincinnati. I think that they will beat Minnesota, though, and I think they'll beat Denver in kind of a fluky situation game again. So that's a loss, and that's a loss. So let's go ahead and mark those. The Bengals going, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 8. And getting how many wins in the conference? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-5. So that marks my AFC North. Let's go ahead and move on now to my AFC South here. The Texans, the AFC South is turning into a new AFC North. I think that the Texans will beat the Colts at home, they'll beat the Titans at home, they'll beat the Jaguars at home. They'll take care of business at home. I think they'll beat Tennessee on the road, but I think they'll drop to Indy and Jacksonville on the road. So Indy and Jacksonville both get wins against Houston at home, and then the rest of these games against Houston are losses. So now, where do we go from here? Well, let's go ahead and fill this in as 4-2 in the division. Texans against Arizona. I don't know. I think Arizona gets kind of a fluky-ish win there. So I think they'll beat Arizona. They'll beat Arizona. They'll lose to Denver. They'll lose to San Fran. Those are shoo-ins. But then I think they'll beat Vegas and Tampa. So we'll go ahead and mark those out as wins. Vegas getting a win over Houston, or getting a loss over Houston. And now let's go ahead and move on to... wait, who else is in that division? Denver. Denver gets a win over Vegas. Not Vegas, over Houston. What am I doing? Sorry, it's been a long day. Oh boy, Thursdays are my long days. Okay, now moving on to the road games for Texans. They're going to lose to Kansas City. I think they'll lose to the Rams. The Rams are a bit fluky. They're a bit streaky. I think they'll lose to the Chargers. And then they'll beat Seattle. Somehow, some way they'll manage to beat Seattle. So that means that Kansas City and the Chargers both get wins against Houston. There we go. That puts Houston at a final record of 6, 7, 8, 9. Or wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 and 9. Houston will probably take a little bit of a step backwards this season. I think they just have a tough schedule. Could they go over 500? I think they can, but again, the AFC South looked kind of fluky this offseason. And we're going to have a little bit of fun with this anyway. Losses in the AFC: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they go 5 and 7 in the conference. Now, Jacksonville, let's see what they can do. I think Jacksonville is going to beat Tennessee at home, and they'll... I don't know. I think they'll beat Tennessee at home and maybe beat Indianapolis on the road. I think that's fair for them. They'll lose the other two, going 3-3 in the division. Not 3-63, 3-3. So that means Indianapolis wins on the road against Jacksonville. Tennessee wins at home against Jacksonville. So those two are wins, and these two are losses. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, Kansas City, they're going to have a field day with Jacksonville. The Chargers are going to have a field day with Jacksonville. I think the Rams get a win over Jacksonville. Once again, I think the Rams are going to be a decent team this year, even if they don't have Cooper Kupp. I think that they have really kind of moved on in a sense already. The Rams look really solid without Cooper, or, with Cooper Kupp being in a smaller role. And I think they got the next man up mentality where, you got Tutu Atwell, you got DeMarcus Robinson. DeMarcus Robinson was really taking up that good wide receiver 3 spot. Promote him to wide receiver 2. The Rams got a good shot. So Kansas City and the Chargers, those are all losses. Why are they green? I keep messing up my colors. So Jacksonville for Kansas City and the Chargers are both wins. So Jacksonville, bada bing, bada boom. Seattle, Carolina, I think that they'll win those. I can't see, you know what, no, I think they'll lose to Carolina. I think Carolina's going to be a bit streaky. On the road, I see 3 wins. I see 3 wins on the road with a loss to San Fran out of those 4 games. So, Denver and Vegas both lose to Jacksonville, which is fair. That puts Jacksonville, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7 and 10, not bad under first-year coach Liam Cohen, but not quite where they want to be. So we'll go ahead, let's see, how many games did they win in the conference? They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They go 5 and 7 in the AFC. Moving on to the Colts, I think the Colts take care of business and sweep Tennessee. I think Indianapolis will perform well in the division. I don't know how they'll perform against anyone else, though. because I really feel like the Colts are very streaky. They can be very hot and cold in a moment. So I have the Titans going 1-5 and 4-2 for the Colts. Now, looking at the Colts, Arizona, I can see them losing to Arizona. I can see them losing to San Fran. I can see them losing to Atlanta. So we'll go ahead and mark those as losses. Denver and Vegas, I'm going to give them some wins. I think Bo Nix takes a little bit of a slump back, but not a horrible slump back. So Vegas or Indianapolis, these two are both losses. Moving on now to the rest of these. I think the Colts will beat the Rams. I have them losing to Kansas City. I have them. We'll take them doing something like this. I like that. I like that. I like that. They lose to the Chargers, lose to the Rams. Actually, why did I do that? I flipped my colors up again, David.
Yeah,
I keep flipping up my colors.
I noticed it, and I was going to say something until you noticed it the first time.
Okay, so, Indy, that is a win for the Chiefs. Indy, that is a loss for the Chargers. So that puts the Colts at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 losses. 9-8 on the season. I don't know what to think about the Colts. They're a crapshoot to me, whether they win or lose on any given week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins in the conference. It's a pretty solid record for the conference, considering they only got 9 wins. Tennessee, on the other hand, loss, 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 loss.
Damn, you are not friendly with the Titans at all, my guy.
Tennessee has no core. They have no core. Will Levis is a bona fide bust. The quarterback class, I don't see the quarterback class being that strong this year. And I really don't feel confident in this team. I really don't at all. So 3-14 with what? All 3 of their wins coming in the AFC. That's it for the Titans. Titans losing, or the Raiders losing to the Titans. Everyone else whooping the Titans. Okay, let's go ahead and go red. Titans, where was the other Titans? So we go boom, boom, and boom. Those are all wins. Bada bing, bada boom. That's my AFC South. Now let's go ahead and move on to David's AFC South predictions. Let's go ahead and do this.
Watching you do the predictions for the Titans was probably both the most... It was the most hilarious thing I've seen, because I'm like, okay, he's probably going to do like a couple easy wins. No, you literally just went down to like...
That's got to be a short, man. I've got to cut that into a short. Just, all right, Tennessee. Loss, 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 loss.
Right. So...
All right, so now, are you able to move over a few columns? So that we can actually... Ooh, I just realized the webcam was off.
Oh.
A little bit. Not off, but like... Something wasn't right.
Okay. Let me know when I'm ready to start.
Okay. We're good for you. I just realized there was a little bit of a white spot.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
So, the Colts, I can see them beating the Colts. I don't have faith that they'll lose to the Colts. It'll be rather embarrassing if they do. Jacksonville, that's a W. The Titans, that's a W. They're gonna beat Arizona. Then they're gonna get stonewalled by Denver. They're gonna...
Picking favorites! You're picking favorites!
I'm sorry, I can't help it. I'm sorry.
I swear, if you have Denver going 17-0.
You know what? No.
No, pick what you want, man. Pick what you want. If you really think Denver will beat the Texans.
Yeah, I think they have a shot.
But I'm just saying, if Denver goes 17-0 in your predictions and wins the Super Bowl.
Well, hold on. I don't think they've won every single matchup before this.
They have!
Oh.
Look at Denver! I'm filling in your predictions as a backlog.
Oh. Huh.
It's only 3 games, though. It's only 3 games, and I could see that. It's fair.
I can't see them beating San Francisco. I'm gonna be honest. I can't see them beating the Bucks. I can see them beating Indianapolis twice. Jacksonville, Tennessee. I can see them beating them. They will lose these 3 games, no question. Is Seattle any good lately, or are they mid?
They've been all right. They've had their moments.
So-
They were fighting to win the AFC or the NFC West last year.
So in that case, let's see. Do I want to? I can see them. I'll give them the W against Seattle.
All right, so that puts you at an 11-6 team for Houston. Not out of the question.
Right.
Not out of the question whatsoever. Now moving on to
Right.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, no, they're gonna lose both of these games. I can't see either of these teams actually being competitive against. They'll lose. Actually, wait. Yeah, they'll lose to KC. Oh shit. I cannot. The Jaguars are basically. Do they even have a quarterback? Honestly, because if they
They have
don't,
Trevor
they might
Lawrence.
end up losing. Okay. Yep. Nope. They're losing both of these games.
See, when you at least when you put a team down, you take your time in doing it. I just went
Yes.
boom, 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 boom. I just went guns a-blazing, man.
Rams, nope. Seahawks, nope. Sorry, but they lose every single one of their. I'm sorry. I can't. Carolina, yes. Indy, Tennessee, Arizona. Actually, you know what? They will lose both of these games. Wait, no, hold on. Indy, they'll lose. Tennessee, they'll win because Tennessee's god awful. Arizona. Okay, I'm trying not to give Denver the win here. Okay.
Hey, if you think Denver will win, just give them the win, man.
I guess they'll lose both of these games. They'll beat San Francisco. Or sorry, Vegas. Shit.
Oh
And,
my gosh, you
they'll
gave
lose
Jacksonville the
against San
shaft,
Francisco.
man. You just shafted them. Like, unapologetically shafted the Jaguars. What I did to the Titans, you did to the Jaguars, but more slowly and methodically.
Yes. Yes. That is.
Hey, at least you didn't just go loss. I got the standing stuff. Just go ahead and move on.
Okay. Let's see. The Colts are kind of good, right? Yeah.
Don't use drugs, kids, because then you. I like that, because then you have the Jaguars going 3-14 in the first year under Liam Cohen. This is called crack cocaine and human response, kids.
Okay. All right. W here. That's an easy dub. Easy. You know what? Yeah, no, they're beating Denver. I'm sorry. Arizona, they will lose. Vegas, they will win. San Francisco, they will lose. I feel like I'm doing this to every team. They'll lose to the Falcons. On the back end, they'll lose this game. They won't beat KC. I think on the back end, they have a shot at beating. No. Yes, they will beat them, followed by losing both of these games, and then beating the Seahawks.
All right, and then they lose to KC and Denver. All right, so they have what? They got what? That's 6-11. That's not out of the question for the Colts. I can see the Colts going 6-11.
Right. What you did to the Titans, I'm gonna do the same thing. So these games. They'll win this one. You know what? I can't see them beating Arizona. Sorry. They'll definitely lose this one. Jesus. You know what? I can't. I'm sorry. I just.
So you let them down more gently than I did.
Yeah.
All right, you want to go ahead and move on now to the AFC West, the last division we're doing for this video? And then we'll go ahead and get our playoff teams set in the bracket for the AFC before we end off the stream.
They'll win this one. They'll win both of these, sadly. Unfortunately. Hold on. Give me a moment. They'll lose these two. They will lose this one. On the back end in Denver. You know what? Yeah, no, Denver does not have a shot at beating them. They'll beat the Raiders. They will lose to the Chargers, sadly. They'll beat the Cowboys. And then they'll beat the Giants.
Man. 10-2, and then they go, what? That is 12-5. All right. Raider time! Also, David, real quick. Yeah. After this video, we need to go ahead and do all the NFC teams that we predicted today. So, like, you know, cool. New Orleans, Tampa, you know, we got to put all of those games and translate them over.
Oh my God, True North Packers fan says, don't use drugs, kid. Jesus.
Yes, that's why I said, don't do drugs, kids, because then you have the Jaguars going 3-14. Where were you for, like, the last 5 minutes?
Paying attention, but at the same time not listening. Let's see. The Raiders in Denver. Or, no.
The Broncos in Denver.
Yeah. Shit. Dub. They'll lose these two. Yeah, no thought process here. They'll lose to the Raiders. Sorry. They'll beat the Bears. They'll lose in Denver. They'll lose again to the Chargers. And they'll lose both of these games. Sorry, but they're also going 3-14.
You have a lot of 3-14 teams.
Yeah, I noticed that.
All right, now let's go ahead and fill out these last two teams for you.
Huh. Let's see.
Broncos hosting the Chargers. Who do you think wins?
Broncos hosting the Chargers. Not the Broncos.
Would you mind predicting the road game Chargers here, too, so I can fill in the last division?
Yes. The road game Chargers?
In L.A.
In L.A.?
Yes.
No. No. They're not doing that.
Okay.
They're not beating the Phillies.
1-5.
They are not... Yeah, no, they're not beating Washington. They'll beat Green Bay. I have faith that they'll definitely beat them. And you know what? I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think they'll beat Dallas.
Okay, so that's what? 1, 2, 3, that's 8 losses. Not bad, not bad.
The Chargers hosting the... Yeah, no. Sorry. No-brainer. Nope. And no. It's just not happening. They'll beat the they'll beat the Giants, and they will lose to the Cowboys.
10-7. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, we'll take a look at our standings after this. So let me go ahead and open up mine, and we'll do my AFC West, and then we'll go ahead and go through our playoffs and see what we got and where we stand. So go ahead and take off this screen capture. Go over to mine.
I still can't get over how you got to the Titans and you literally just did not hesitate. You just went immediately lost.
Okay. So, moving here now. I'm all cool. I'm all Gucci. I'm all good. Let's go ahead and predict The AFC West. The Chiefs, they're going to run the gauntlet at home. And I think they're going to get a win against Denver and Vegas. I'm sorry. I think the Chiefs have just been so good. I think they only lose to the Chargers on the road. That is the only game the Chargers hosting Kansas City gets a win. These, boom, 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 that's all losses. Now, Philadelphia, I think they lose to Philadelphia and Washington, but I think they beat Detroit. So I'm going to go drop those, win that. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to have them drop to Detroit and then beat Dallas and the Giants. I think they're going to be an 11-6 team. I truly think 11-6 is a fair mark for them. How do they do in the division? 5-1. How do they do in the conference? How many games do they lose in the conference? 1, 2, 3. 9-3. Now, Raiders at home. They're not. I don't think they're going to win. I don't think they're really going to win any divisional games. It's very rare for me to say a team loses all their divisional games, but the Raiders. I mean, they have Brock. You know what? No.
That's just.
I think they'll beat Denver at home, but they'll lose the other two. They'll drop those. They'll go 1-5. Now, looking at their conference or their division record, they got what? 2 wins. Now, if we go to the NFC, they're going to lose those two, but I think they'll lose to Chicago. But I think they'll win these two and come out at 4-13. I just think there's not really a lot of good options at quarterback and a good answer. And AOC is not going to be good. Side effects of crystal meth include memory loss. That's what these predictions are anyway. They're a crapshoot, man. We're just rolling the dice. Click, 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 click. Roll. See what happens.
I'm interested to see what you do to my Denver Broncos.
So the Raiders, what did they do? The only win they had was Denver at home. So Denver goes into Vegas, they lose. These other Vegas games are wins for their respective teams.
Yes.
So I'm gonna predict the remaining divisional games, and I think the Broncos split with the Chargers. I think that they will split with the Chargers on the series. And let me go ahead and plug in. Let me actually plug in the rest of these conference and division records real quick.
You marked that as a win for the Broncos.
Oh my gosh. I did. What? Yes, these are losses.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I think I have a game with no winner now. Do I?
How?
Because they go to the Chargers. Oh, hold on.
Oh yeah. So the Chargers host.
Yeah. So this goes green.
Yes.
I think they win at home, and then this one and this one go red. There we go. 2-4, 4-2. Or yes. All right. Conference records. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 wins. So 5-7. 4 losses. So that is 8-4. Now, Dallas. I think they'll win. I think they win those. And I think they'll win one of these two. I'm going to give them Washington.
Oh.
And then I'm going to give them those 2 losses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 and 9. Not out of the question for this team. The Chargers, on the other hand, they're going to beat Minnesota, beat Dallas, beat the Giants. I think they'll beat Philadelphia.
What?
Once again, they're going to split Washington and Philadelphia. Super Bowl hangover is a thing. So I have the Chargers at 12-5. So, now, if we program this spreadsheet right, if I go over to standings, I will see every team with the standings. Yes! It worked. Worked first try, so now we're going to go ahead and reorganize these teams by their win totals, or by their record. So we actually have a good outlook on the standings. 9-8 goes up here. And then the Browns go down here. Who has the tiebreaker between the Steelers and Bengals? I think the Steelers do for me. If I look at the Bengals lost both to Pittsburgh. So, yes, that's tiebreaker goes Pittsburgh. And then who has the tiebreaker between the Dolphins and Patriots? Let me take a look at that real quick. Ooh. Oh. Okay, so then we go common games. We're going down to the common games tiebreaker outside of division between the Jets and Patriots. But it's not going to matter. You know what? It's not going to matter. I'm just going to leave them as is. Because neither of these teams are making the playoffs. So my number 1 seed is the Bills. My number 2 seed comes down to the Ravens and Chargers. So these win the division. Colts win the division. And the Chargers win the division. Now we look at the remaining teams, and we have the Chiefs and the other two 9-8 teams. Okay, I think the AFC is not going to be as stacked this year. I think it's really going to be top-heavy, just like it was this year. The AFC was very top-heavy. Wait, why is this Y? These should be X's. And why is the Colts a T? Okay, so let's go ahead and fill in my playoff bracket based off of this. The Buffalo Bills are the 1 seed. Oh, wait. David, I almost forgot.
What?
We need to do this. Oopsie poopsie. So we have the 1 seed, Buffalo Bills. Who has the 2 seed? It comes down to the Ravens and Chargers. Did they play each other? They did not. So we'll just use conference record because I think I can't be damned to do anything else. Conference record, Ravens have it. So 2 seed is Baltimore Ravens. 3 seed is the Los Angeles Chargers. Actually, it should be more like this. And then the 3 seed, or the 4 seed comes up here. Which I think was the Indianapolis Colts. Somehow, some way. I'm not high on the Colts, but somehow they came out on top. Then we have the Chiefs as the 5 seed. It feels so weird having Kansas City be in the wild card round.
Which border did you do, just out of curiosity?
The thickest border. The thickest, consistent border. 3rd one down.
Okay.
So now, who is the 6th seed? It comes down, it's the Steelers. Because the Steelers and Bengals were tied. So 7 is Cincinnati Bengals. Alright, so that is my AFC playoff bracket based off of our predictions here. You know, we got the Bills at the 1 seed, the Ravens at 2, Chargers at 3, Colts at 4, Chiefs at 5, Steelers at 6, Bengals at 7. Now let me go ahead and switch on over to David's feed so that we can see his. What?
You gotta tell me the borders.
What are you doing? Okay. So let me go ahead here and review that. I'm going to go ahead and change up your borders here real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll go ahead and organize your teams. Go ahead and do... Go bada bing, bada boom, boom, boom. I can't stop singing this bloody tune, tune, tune. It's gonna make my brain go boom, boom, boom. Alright, so let's take a look at your standings, David. Okay. Your number 1 seed is the Pittsburgh frickin' Steelers.
What have I done?
Well, then let's go ahead and fill that in.
All right.
That is very interesting. The Pittsburgh Steelers getting a first-round bye. Now, your
I think
2
the
seed
2
comes
seed
down to
goes to
Buffalo
the-
or Kansas City. Can you check if Buffalo played Kansas City?
Yes, I can do that. They do not. They do.
They do.
And they won.
Kansas City, or Buffalo wins Kansas City, so Buffalo gets the 2 seed. And 3 is Kansas City. Who won the other division that you have?
It would be the Texans.
All right, so let me actually go ahead and edit these real quick so we know our playoff teams. Y. Steelers get the Z. Y. Y. Now, Ravens are a playoff team. And then your 2-10 and... Oh! We have 3-10 and 7 teams. We need to find out the best team. So, we have the Patriots, Bengals, and Chargers. Did they all play each other? Let me take a look. Patriots, did they play the Bengals and Chargers?
They did play the Bengals.
But not the Chargers.
They did not play the Chargers, no.
So, we have to go by conference record. And eliminate the lowest conference record. Which would be the Patriots. The Patriots are eliminated.
Yeah.
Did the Bengals play the Chargers? Let's go ahead and take a look now.
No, they
Bengals did not play the Chargers, so we're just going to go by... We're going to make it easy on ourselves. This is way too early predictions. Not super scientific. We'll just go straight to conference record. So the Bengals clinch, and the Chargers clinch. Chargers get the 6th seed. Bengals get the 7th seed. So then, 7th seed, Cincinnati Bengals. 6th seed, Los Angeles Chargers. And your 5 seed is the Baltimore Ravens. All right. So this is your official playoff bracket that will be solved next week. We're going to try to go live on Sunday in the early afternoon to do the NFC, the same thing for the NFC. And then we'll go live hopefully next Thursday night, roughly around the same time, to do our final playoff predictions. This is an interesting bracket that we've both created.
What have I done?
Taking too much crack. Obviously. Let me take this off, and we'll take a look. This is David's bracket. And this is my bracket. Very different.
The two, yours is more sensible. Mine is just like...
Wait, let's see. Do we actually have the same teams? Just about?
Yeah.
Chargers,
so.
Chiefs. Yeah, the only difference between our teams, our team composition, is the Colts. The Colts and Texans. I have the Colts, you have the Texans. Other than that, our brackets are the same teams, just reshuffled.
Yes.
That is interesting. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this, don't forget to smash like and subscribe, because it does help us out a whole lot. Tells us that we're making content that you guys enjoy. Currently in the pipeline, huge shout out to my man David. He has been a huge help. We're working on a couple of projects right now, trying to use math to determine the best team across the Big Four franchises or Big Four leagues, I should say. The NFL, NHL, MLB, and NBA. We have that stuff coming up. I actually finished up the script for the NFL video today, so I'm going to try to get to recording that, editing that over the weekend, hopefully having it up by mid-Sunday. If not then early next week. Hopefully we'll be able to make that happen. I'll have a lot of time this weekend, and we can try to make that work. But I guess with that, David, do you have anything else you want to tell the people before we sign off for the night?
Nope. That's pretty much everything. Still trying to comprehend what exactly I did.
All right. Well, that will do it for us today, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace out, and have a good one.